Morning. Hmm. Start in a few more minutes. Hmm. 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 Hope my remind went out. Yes. What do you mean? It's only an hour of my class, just like you would normally do every single day, guys. On weekdays, at least. Hello, we have a smaller class today. There's only 8 people, but it's okay. Again, I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. We'll start at 10:05. Because today's lesson is not that long, actually. It's kind of a short lesson today. Oh, get some water. Good morning, everyone. Who is the best? Schoology is having issues because it's not used to all this attention. It's a lot of traffic, and it's just like the servers physically can't handle it. Now, if you're lucky, Schoology will work for you, but that you might not be lucky. Yeah, like Schoology is not doing the greatest for me. Like I can't even upload the assignment. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, okay. Um, Zoom is going to be later on today. Zoom is a separate kind of like a um not necessarily a class lesson, but more like class time. So like if you need help or if you just want to come to the chat and just say hi and you know what, come and say hello to just, you know, hang out and relax. Because honestly, with that, we do a lot of helping each other. I try to help as many students as I need to. But it's an optional thing. It's not necessarily it's not required. But if you want to come and say hi, you know, It's a good way for me to see you guys. It's a good way to see face to face. And of course, Schoology is um, having issues. So the one thing I want to go over today is actually what I made a mistake about yesterday, because this is what happens when you're not fully prepared. But it's okay. It happens. Made a mistake. Um, so yesterday, I talked about some of the exterior angle. I made a mistake. For some reason, I told you guys it was 180 degrees, which it's not. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what caused me to think that, but it's actually 360 degrees. So I've made a little edit. I've edited all the notes from yesterday as well. Okay. So everything has been fixed. All right. The process and everything is still exactly the same. The only difference is instead of using 180, it's you use 360. So I've fixed it. I've highlighted it. This is now I didn't highlight it in the notes that I've posted, but I have shown it up here. All right, and I'm just gonna go over number 15 to show you what should have happened. Okay, again, starting from 360, we add all the exterior angles. Okay, so we have 21 plus 42 plus 29 plus x plus 14 plus x minus 20 plus, come on, x minus 10 plus x. Okay, again, we add all the non-x's, so 21, 4, 42, 29, 14, minus 20, minus 10. Okay, put them all together. We have, I don't feel like mathing it. Let's pull out the calculator, guys. When in doubt, use a calculator. Okay, so 21 plus 42 plus 29 plus 14 minus 20 minus 10. 76. So we have 360 equal to 76. Then we add all the non-x's. We have one, oh, sorry, now we add all the x's. We have x, 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 x. So 4x. All right, subtract 76. That's going to be 284. Let's double check that. Okay, 360 minus 76, 284 is equal to 4x, and then we divide by 4, divide by 4, x is equal to, should be 71 divided by 4. Yep, 71. And that's your answer. All right, that was just a quick review of what we did yesterday. Because of my miss, that was my bad. All right, and now we're gonna go over what we're doing today. Like I said, today is fair. I think it's actually easier than what we did yesterday. So I'm gonna move this out of the way, and we're gonna go over this. All right. So today we're going over the properties. Now, a lot of this is just me explaining all this stuff. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna make some notes on the side here about what everything actually means. So if you look at this symbol means parallel. Okay. The symbol here means perpendicular. Okay. We have this symbol here, which means congruent. Oh, I'm gonna run out of room. I'm gonna run out of room there. Let's put it down here. Is congruent. And let's see, is there any other symbols I have to go over? Nope, that's it. All right, so that's what the main things are. So going over the properties of quadrilaterals, we have every quadrilateral has four sides. Okay, Trapezoids only distinctive property is that one pair of sides is parallel. Okay, now with isosceles trapezoids, it also includes one pair of sides is parallel, and congruent sides are also one pair of parallel sides and one pair of congruent sides. Now, the pair of parallel sides and the congruent sides are not the same sides. I've trying to upload the assignment for today. Because Schoology is having issues, it doesn't want to do it. All right, and I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, so for now, we're just gonna stick with this. If anything, hopefully Schoology gets better and I can upload the assignment right after today's lesson. Okay, base angles are congruent and diagonals are congruent for isosceles trapezoids. Now remember, whenever we talk about the family tree, you know, I'll go over that afterwards. Let's just go over everything else. Okay, parallelograms. Two sets of parallel sides. Now, parallel sides are always opposite from each other. Okay, when it comes to the quadrilaterals, they're never going to be next to each other because then they're touching, therefore they're not parallel. Okay, opposite angles are congruent, uh, and consecutive angles are 180 degrees. And consecutive, if you guys don't remember what consecutive means like one right after another. Okay, diagonals always bisect each other. That means they cross. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean they cross at a 90 degree. That means perpendicular. All right, now when we get to rectangle, opposite sides are congruent and parallel because they are because with the way the rectangles are, the opposite sides have to be exactly the same, and they are always going to be perpendicular. All right, the angles are also going to be congruent because all the angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees. Remember that. All the angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees, okay? The diagonals bisect each other and are congruent because they are the same uh they're congruent. They're the same length, okay? A rhombus also has opposite sides that are congruent and opposite sides that are parallel. However, um, the opposite angles are congruent, but they're not going to be 90 degrees. Okay? And diagonals bisect each other, which means they cross through each other, and they will be um, parallel to each other. Okay? They will be parallel to each other. Oh, sorry, not parallel, perpendicular. I'm sorry, perpendicular. That's what this symbol means. This symbol means perpendicular. Okay? And the angles, they're angle bisectors. All right, that means they cut the angle that they're looking at directly in half. So if I were to draw a rhombus right here, oh my gosh, I can't draw very well. Woo. Nope, that's a kite. There we go. So if I took and I drew the diagonal lines like so, they're actually going to bisect the angles, which means they cut the angles in half. All right. All right. So now let's go over to a square, and the square has everything. All right. It is opposite sides are congruent and parallel. They are opposite angles are congruent and always 90 degrees. Okay. The diagonals bisect each other, are parallel. Oh, sorry, not parallel. Are perpendicular and congruent, and angle bisectors. Okay. Everything. Kites have consecutive sides that are congruent, as in these sides right here are congruent, and these sides right here are congruent. Okay? Diagonals are perpendicular, which means they oops, they create a 90-degree angle right there. Okay? One line of symmetry, which means that this this line right here, the black line, is the symmetrical line, which cuts the kite directly into two equal parts. It's also angle bisector, and it bisects the other diagonal line. Again, that's what the 90-degree angle shows. Okay, again, angles are cut. All right. So now, when we talk about this, the reason why we're going over this is to understand the properties. Okay. So for the always, sometimes, never, we have to refer back to um our family tree. All right. And again, this is what we used our foldable from when we were at school. And our foldable, remember, we always talked about how always, sometimes, and never works. Okay? When we go up the family tree, it's going to be always. Okay? When we go down the family tree, it's going to be sometimes. When we go side to side, it's going to be never. Okay? So make sure you're paying attention to the lines here. Okay? The lines here and the lines that go here. Whoops. Okay? So the blue lines state either always or sometimes, and then the different color lines means never. Okay? So like a trapezoid will never be a kite. Trapezoid is never going to be a kite. Parallelogram will never be a kite. Okay? So let's talk about question number one. Is it always, sometimes, or never? Okay, a square is a rectangle. Again, we have to refer to going up or down. And we're talking from a square to a rectangle. So if a square goes to a rectangle, it's going up. That means always. So, always. Okay, a square is always a rectangle. Hello, Cassie. All right, now, number two says a rectangle is a square. Now we're looking down. Okay, and again, if we're going down, it's going to be sometimes. All right, so a rectangle is sometimes a square. Okay, number three, excuse me. Number three says a trapezoid is a parallelogram. Okay, so let's look at trapezoid and parallelogram. Trapezoid is here, parallelogram is here. That is side to side. And if it's side to side, that means never. Okay, that's a never. So, come on. There we go. Okay. Oops. So, a trapezoid is never a parallelogram. All right. Number four, it says the diagonals of a rhombus are congruent. Okay. The diagonals of a rhombus are congruent. It says right here that they are perpendicular, but it doesn't necessarily say they are congruent. Okay. Now, we talked about how sometimes is going down and always is going up. If you take a look, a rhombus right here is sometimes a square. And guess what? A square's diagonals are congruent. So whenever a rhombus is a square, they will have congruent diagonals, which means the rhombus will sometimes be congruent. Okay? Sometimes. The only time is when it's a square. Okay? When it's a square, then we know it is going to have that. All right? Number five, okay? The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. They bisect each other and are always congruent. So, always. Okay? Opposite sides of a kite are congruent. Opposite sides of a kite are congruent. No, because look, consecutive sides are congruent, which means opposite sides can't be congruent. All right? Therefore, why did my S go all the way up here? This is never. What is up with my writing today? There we go. Never. That's not the smartest thing to say, Miguel. Considering it is illegal and you are of underage. Okay? Number 7, a parallelogram has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Let's take a look. A parallelogram has two sets of parallel sides, and this one says exactly one pair. That means no. All right? It always has to have two. That means it'll never have exactly one. So this would be a never. Okay? A kite has one pair of parallel sides. Let's take a look at a kite. Parallel? Nope. A kite can never have a pair of parallel sides. So, never. Okay? Consecutive angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. Let's take a look. Consecutive angles are 180. All right? Does supplementary mean add up to 180? Yes. Therefore, yes. Always. Okay? Good morning, Jessica. All right? A rhombus is a kite. A kite can't be a rhombus. That's side to side. So no, rhombus will never be a kite. 10 is never. Oops. I'm going to make that better. All right. That is properties of quadrilaterals. All right. Miguel, I'm going to tell you right now, we are live on YouTube. That means everything is getting recorded. That includes the chat. All right. In a school setting, I would have reported you to an AP at this very moment. All right. Miguel, you need to cut this out. All right. So, back to the lesson. All right. Number 1, we're looking for perimeter and area now. Okay. This is, again, review of what we've learned about how perimeter and area, how you guys learned perimeter and area a long time ago. Okay. And the way we're going to go through perimeter and area is we're actually going to go through perimeter and area of uh, compound shape or composite shapes. Okay. Basically, two shapes that have been put together. So if we look here on number 1, we can actually draw a line from here to here so we can actually split up our two shapes. Okay? Now, to find perimeter, perimeter is the sum of the outside, okay? All the outside sides. And we need this side right here. And we need this side, oops. And we need this side right here, okay? So, to find that, we have to take a look at the information that's given to us. All right, take a look. We know that this length right here is actually 11, and this length right here is 6. Now, if you use your vision and look, you can actually see that in order to find the red question mark, which is this side right here, all right, all we have to do is take this and subtract it from this. So we take 11 and we subtract 6.5, which gives us 4.5. So the measure of the red is actually 4.5 centimeters. Okay? Again, using your vision, look and see how this part right here, and you subtract that, will get you what you need. Okay? Same for this side right here. If we look, this side and this side, we have 18 and 11. So in order to find this purple length, we're just going to take 18 and subtract 11, which gives us 7, which means this is 7 centimeters. Okay? So to find the sum of all the sides or the perimeter, we just have to add it all together. So we have 11 plus 4.5 plus 7 plus 6.5 plus 18. All right, so pull out the calculator. 11 plus 11 plus 4.5 plus 7 plus 6.5 plus 18, or 58 centimeters. Okay? That's the perimeter. Nice and easy. Area, however, we have to find the area of the two composite shapes, or however many composite shapes there are, so that we can add up the areas together. Okay, so we need to find this area here and this area here. Okay, now these are easy, simple shapes. These are rectangles and these are squares, or sort of squares. And to find area of a rectangle, all you're doing is taking the length and multiplying it by the width. So if we look at the orange one, the length is 11 and the width is 11. So it's just 11 times 11, or 121. And then for the green, we have here, we have 7 and we have 6.5. So 7 times, oops, times 6.5. You know what? I'm going to fix this. I don't like the way this works. Okay, I'm going to do it side by side. 11 times 11 is equal to 121. And then we have 7 times 6.5 is equal to, this I don't know off the top of my head. Pull the calculator out. 7 times 6.5, 45.5. And then we add our two areas together. So 121 plus 45.5, or 166.5. So the area is 166.5 centimeters squared. Okay, we're in 2D now. So whenever we do area, our units have to be squared. Okay, so 166.5 squared. All right. So that's how we find area. That's how we find perimeter. All right. Now this was a nice easy shape, and we're gonna keep doing the easy shapes, and then we'll do a little bit more harder shapes as we move on today. All right. So uh, here we need this and this. Oops. Let me use a different color for that. We need this and this. Okay, so to find the purple length, we just have to take this length right here, add it to this length right here, and we get the total length. So 3 plus 10 gives you 13 centimeters. So 13 centimeters. And then to find the red, we're just taking 4 and 8 and subtracting it from each other. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So this length here is also 4. Oh, this is millimeters, not centimeters. Whoops. It's millimeters. Come on. There it is. Millimeters. All right. So again, perimeter at all the sides. All right. So again, this is how you find the red. So we add everything together. Bust out that trusty calculator. Okay. We have 13 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8, or 42 centimeters for the perimeter. Okay. Area, again, we have to find the two different shapes. I'm going to split the shape right here to get a nice and easy find. So we got to find this length, or this area here, and this area here. Okay, so for the orange area, we need this dimension, or 10 times 8, which is just 80, and then we need to find this dimension, which is 3 and 4, or 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. Add them together, we get 92. So your area is 92 millimeters. Oh, I'm doing something weird. Millimeters squared. Yes. All right. Millimeters. Oh, whoops. I wrote centimeters up here. I don't know what happened. Millimeters. Okay, 42 millimeters, and then the area is 92 millimeters squared. Okay, let's keep going on to number 3. All right, so let's find out this length. Oh, I think I'm missing a value. I am missing a value. What happened? Okay, well, that's weird. So in that case, I'm just going to make up a value. Say this is 13 centimeters, because I'm missing a value right there. Yeah. All right, so that's 13 centimeters. We need this length here and this length there. All right. So in order for us to do that, we need to, for the red, we have to take this length, subtract from this length. So that's 13 minus 5. All right, 13 minus 5 gives us 8. So this is 8 centimeters. And then we have, to get the purple length, we take the 8 and the 4 and we subtract it. So we get 8 minus 4, or 4. So this is 4 centimeters. Okay, perimeter, again, we're adding all these together. So we have 5 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus 13 plus 8. All right, so your perimeter is 42 centimeters. Okay, just note that all these shapes are not to scale. So just because the 8 centimeters, the red 8 centimeters doesn't look like the 8 centimeters on the left, that's okay because it is not to scale. You're doing it based off the numbers. Okay, so for area, we're gonna split the shape. Let's split it right here. Hmm, not a great line. Split the shape right here. Oh my gosh, I can't draw straight lines today. Let's do it. There we go. Okay, so, oops. We need this area and this area. So the green area, we're gonna take 5 and multiply it by 8. So 5 times 8 is equal to 40. The orange area is right here, or 8 by 4. So 8 times 4, which is 32. We add the sum of the two, and we get 72. So 72 centimeters squared. Okay. Number 4, let's see. What do we got? So we're missing this length here and this length here. Okay. Let's just make a note. Nope. Okay. So to find this, you need to take this and subtract it from this for the red. So 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Okay, so this question mark here is going to be 3 centimeters. And then the purple, you take this length right here and you subtract from this length right here. So 8 minus 5, which also gets us 3. Okay, so I'm looking in the chat and a couple of you guys are getting lost. Okay, so the what we're doing is we're finding area and perimeter of a composite shape, basically two shapes that have been put together. Now for perimeter, we're always is just the sum of all the sides on the outsides. Okay, so we need to get every single length, which is why we're getting this red, uh, which is why we're getting this right here and this right here, because we are missing those two lengths of all the sides around. Okay, and in order to do that, we're just taking a look at what we need to see, or what the information is giving us to find that missing length. Okay, to find this red 3 centimeters, what I did was I took this length for the red centimeter, I took this length here and subtracted it from this length here. And the reason why I did that is because this missing length right here is equivalent to this right here, right? These are equivalent lengths. And to find this length, okay, use my mouse. To find this length right here, it is just this length subtracting this length right here. Okay, that's how we find this length. All right, same with finding the purple. Okay, same with this length right here. All right, this length right here is the same as this length right here, subtracting this length so that we have this whole length right here. I know it's a little confusing, but once you keep practicing and once you get it, once it clicks in your head, it's going to be really easy. Okay? All right. So with that, we found to find our perimeter, we're again adding all the sides. Okay? So we're taking 8 plus 7 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. Right. We can't add the area without separating the squares. You have to separate the two, whatever the two shapes are, in order for us to get the total area of the composite shape. So it's like taking two different shapes and putting the areas together. So you can't like do you can't do like 8 times 5 and that will, oh, not 8 times 5, sorry, 8 times 7. Like you can't do 8 times 7 and that will give you this area right here. But you don't have any of this. So you can't actually use that. All right? The best way is to separate the shapes. That way you can find you're using easier methods to find the area rather than finding, like, since it's an awkward, it's not like a nice even shape. You have to use other methods, and basically the easiest way is to just split your shapes into easier shapes to find areas and then add them together once you find those other areas. Okay, so I'm going to split the shape right here. We're going to get this, oops. We're going to get this right here and this right here. Okay, to find the green, we're just taking 3 times 3, or 9. And for the orange, we're taking 8. Nope, not 8. Sorry. We're taking 5 times 7, or 35, and then we add those together. 44. Area is 44 centimeters squared. Oops, I forgot to do the perimeter. Let's pull the calculator back. The perimeter, oh, I did. It's 30. Okay. Now, when I'm adding the perimeter, I'm just starting one thing and then going all the way around. Okay? I'm just taking one number and then just adding from there all the way around the shapes. Every single number that I see. All right? That way I don't make a mistake and adding a number twice or something. Okay? All right. Now, number 5, number 6, and so on and so forth. It's going to get a little more confusing because there's going to be multiple shapes that we're going to do. Okay? So I'm gonna start with this right here. So we need this and this. Now, luckily for us, this length right here, the red length, is actually the exact same as this length right here. So all we're doing is just, this is just 12. Okay. Now to find the blue length, we actually have to take this length and subtract it from this length and this length here. Okay. So we add these two together and it's subtracted from 15. So 15 minus 12, which is 6 plus 6. And we get 3, which means this length right here, oops, I forgot the C, is 3 centimeters. Okay? Uh, and now we're going to split our shapes. Okay? I'm going to have to actually split it into 3 different shapes. So if we take a look, we have, there we go. So we're going to have this shape right here, this area, and then we're going to have this area. Okay? So this first area, the green area, since these are actually the same, whoops, since these are the same measures, they're just the same. So we're going to take the 6 and the 5, multiply each other. 6 times 5, which is equal to 30. And then we're going to do it again. 6 times 5, which is equal to 30. We're going to add that later. Now we got to find the orange length. We need this length right here, which is 15, and this length right here, which we don't know. Okay? Now to find out this length, I'm going to use another color. That way it's easier to understand. This length right here is actually going to be the difference between 12 and 5. Okay, so we're just going to take 12 minus 5 and we get 7. Okay, so this length right here is 7 centimeters. And then to find that area, we just take 7 times 15, which is, no, you can split it to, you need to split the shape into however many shapes you need to make it so that it's easy to find the areas of those shapes. Okay, I split it into 3 because it looks like there were 3 different shapes put together. Okay, um, I feel like I skipped perimeter this time, and I did, but it's okay. 7 times 15 is 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, 105. Okay, and then we add these together. So 30 plus 30 is 60, plus 105 is 165. And for perimeter, since it's a little awkward, let me add another color. Let's do light blue. Okay. For the perimeter, yes, you can go back and watch the video. Okay. So for the perimeter, we need this length right here. So 6 plus 5 plus 3. It's gonna get a little messy. Plus 5 plus 6 plus 12 plus 15 plus 12. Okay? Bear with me. Okay? So 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 12 plus 15 plus 12. Okay? Or 64 centimeters. Yes, you can rewatch these videos. It takes a little bit of time for it to re-upload, but yes, you can rewatch the streams after I complete them. Okay? I'm just getting you guys used to area and perimeter. All right? Let's do the next one. Okay? Again, we're missing, let's see, what side are we missing? We're only missing, I believe, this side right here. So to find this side, we need to get this whole length. We need to add add this length, plus this length, plus this length. Okay, so 5 plus 3 plus 9 or 17. So oops, this bottom length down here is 17 centimeters. Okay, and for perimeter, again, we're just adding all the sides. So I'm going to start here and then add this and this and this and this and this and this. Okay, so 8 plus 5 plus, oh, I missed this. I missed one. Whoops. Hold on. Before we continue, I missed a side. I missed this side right here. Okay, this side right here. To find that, we're just going to take, um, we gotta take this full length. Oh, this is it's a little bit more confusing, but we have to take this sum of this length and subtract it from this length right here. So we're gonna take 10 and 4 and add them together, which gives us 14, and then we're going to subtract it from 8, which gives us 6. So 6 centimeters. Okay, so we have to add the 6 centimeters as well. Where'd my calculator go? Okay. So 8 plus 5. Okay, I'm gonna clear back. So 8 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus 10 plus 9 plus 4 plus 17. Okay, so our perimeter is, what was it again? I totally forgot. 62. Okay, 62 centimeters. Okay, and for the area, we're going to split it into 3 different shapes. Let's see, what's the easiest shape? I'm just going to split it like this. Okay, so this area plus this area. No, Siri, be quiet. Plus this area. Okay, so for the dark blue, it's 5 and 8. So 5 times 8, which is 40. No. For the green area, it's actually 3 plus this whole length, which was 14. So 3 and 14, because that's the sum of 10 and 4. So it's 3 times 14 is equal to 42. And then we have our orange length, which is 4 and 9, which is 36. And we add them all together. So 40 plus 42 is 82, plus 36 is 118. 118 centimeters squared. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's keep going. Whoops. Let's keep going. All right. Let's do number 8 before we get to number 7. Okay. So again, we need this length here, and we need this length here. Um, yes, you can split it to any shapes as long as yeah, the easiest way to do it is to split it into the shapes that are easy to get the area. So here, to find the red length, we're just taking this length plus this length plus this length, or 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is 9 meters. And then for the purple length, we have this plus this plus this, or 4 plus 5 plus 6, which is 15 meters. Okay, so for perimeter, we're going to add all the sides. So we have 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3 plus 15. Okay, 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3 plus 15. 48. Perimeter is 48 meters. Okay. For area, we're going to split it. So here's an example of how you can split it. So you can split it down here to get 3 different shapes, or you can split it right here to get 3 different shapes. Okay? Either way works. Very easy, very simple. Okay? So, let's do, I think this way is going to be easier. But honestly, I don't think it matters. All right, so we have to find this one area, this area, and this area. Okay, so dark blue is going to be 9 and 4. So 9 times 4 is 32. Oops, 36. Don't need to worry about M. Okay, for the green, okay, we have 5, but we also need this length right here. So you're just going to take the 3 and the 3 and add it together. So that gives us 6 meters, or 5 times 6, which is equal to 30. And then for the green, for the orange, we just have 6 times 3, or 18. Okay, and then we add them all together. That is a 4, and then that is 8. So 84 meters squared. Okay, now let's go on to number 7. All right, now number 7, we need this length and this length. Okay, this is where it gets a little different. Well, the red length is 12 centimeters because it's the same. The purple length is actually just going to be this length subtracting this length. So 20 minus 5, or 15 centimeters. Now, the hard part is getting these lengths right here. Okay? Those lengths right there, we're actually going to use what we call Pythagorean theorem. Remember Pythagorean theorem, guys? We need to use Pythagorean theorem. All right? Remember, Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? And if you look carefully, we need this length right here, which is 6 centimeters because it's the halfway point, because this is also 6 centimeters. All right? And we're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Since this is your hypotenuse, it's going to be 6 squared. All right? Plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. All right? Let's find that. So this is 36 plus, whoops, 25 is equal to c squared, or c squared is equal to 61, or the square root of 61. Okay? C is equal to, let's see, what's the square root of 61? Oops. 7.8. 7.8. Okay, so 7.8, 7.8 centimeters. Okay, 7.8 centimeters, 7.8 centimeters. Okay, take this, add all the sides. Okay, now all the outside sides are this here, this here, this here, and this here, and then this length right here, which is also 15 centimeters because it's the same as this top length. So 12 plus 15 plus 7.8 plus 7.8 plus 15, or 57.6 centimeters. All right, now for the area, we need this right here, and we need uh, this right here. And I need another color. What color have I not used? That's fine. Okay, so um, area of this shape is really easy. It's just 15. Area of the green is real easy. It's just 15 times 12. Okay, so 15 times 12. All right, I can't do that off the top of my head right now. 180. Okay, now to find this, I need another color. Let's do purple. No. What happened? Why can't I erase? Oh gosh. Okay, whatever. Okay, now area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, the base is 12, the height is 5, so we're just going to take 12 times 5 divided by 2, or 60 divided by 2, or 30. So we're going to take 30 and 180 and add them together, which gives us 210. So this is 210 centimeters squared. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Okay? Same thing. Same thing. I'm going to split it right there. We're going to need this length as well. Whoops. Okay? Now, the height is going to be 32 minus 16, or 16. 32 minus 16 is 16. Okay? Half of 21 is going to be 10.5. 10.5. Okay, this is all centimeters. Okay? So, in order to find this length here, again, we're using Pythagorean theorem, or a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? I know, Schoology is having issues right now. Give it a little bit. All right, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to use 16 as a squared plus 10.5 as b squared is equal to c squared. Oops, I forgot the square. Okay, and I'm going to plug this in the calculator real quick. So 16 times 16 is 256, and then 10.5 times 10.5 is 110 point. So 256 plus 110 point, I believe was 25. Yep. Actually, let me redo that. And this is 10.5, and that's equal to c squared. Okay, we add these together. We get 366.5 is equal to c squared. We take the square root of both sides. So 366.5, and we take the square root of that. It is c is equal to 19. Oops, I lost it. 19.1. So 19.1. All right, so we have here 19.1, 19.1. And in order for us to get the perimeter, we're just going to take this 19.1 plus 19.1 plus 21 plus 16 and 16 on this side as well. Okay. So we have 19.1 plus 19.1 plus 16 plus 21 plus 16, or 91.2. Okay. Area, just like before, we're going to find the area of a triangle and area of this rectangle here. Okay. So for this, we need 16 times 21. 16 times 21. 16. Oops, that's not a 16. 16 times 21 is equal to, just going to erase this. What was it again? 336. And then we take 16 times 21 divided by 2, or 336 divided by 2, which is 168. And then we add those together. We have 504, or 504 centimeters squared. Whew. All right, how's it going? Everybody staying along or somewhat keeping up? All right, I got a couple more questions. I think number 11, I'll let you guys do. I won't have to cover that. And number 10 is actually pretty easy, because if you look carefully, all these sides here are congruent, right? So that's congruent, that's congruent, that's congruent, that's congruent, that's congruent, that's congruent, 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 and congruent. All right. If these are all congruent, we're just going to take all these sides right here. Okay. This side and this side and this side all add up to 15, which means it's just 15 divided by 3, or 5. So all these are just going to be 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. Okay, I can't write millimeters that small. I'm gonna erase all these. Okay, so it's all 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Why do these look like 3s? Why do my 5s look like 3s? There. Okay, and since we know that this is 5, we're just going to take 18 to get this length here. So we can take 18 and subtract 5, or 8. Okay, so the purple lengths are 8, 8. Okay. All right. This one's a little bit tougher, but um, it's just understanding the concept of numbers, which you guys just need to practice and practice. All right, so add all these together. So it's just going to be, oh, I missed the 5. Okay, so we're going to add 8 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fives, which is 50 plus 8, or 66. Okay. With area, we're going to split this into 3 shapes, 3 easy shapes. We're going to split it right here, right here. All right. This and this are going to be the same, and this one is going to be slightly different. So to find the blue, it's just 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 times 5 is equal to 25. 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Okay, and then for the green, we're just taking 8, multiplying it by 15. That's a 15. Okay, so 8 times 15, which is 120. We add it all together. Okay, so 170. Just give it a bit. I know Schoology is having issues right now, so let it settle down. Once all the traffic dies, I'm gonna make sure Schoology is uploaded. Again, you guys have time to complete the assignments. All right. It's not like I'm taking anything late, unless you're like doing this at the end of the school year. Then we're gonna have an issue. Okay. You guys should be finished with every assignment every single day, and it's only 5 questions and one last final assignment. It's like your exit ticket. Okay. So it shouldn't be anything crazy. All right. So number 11, I'm going to skip. Number 12, I'm going to do. Number 12 is actually really easy. Okay. Because you're finding the perimeter of this shape, there's actually a hole in it. So what I'm going to have you do is find the perimeter of, I'm going to change this, and this is actually going to perimeter. I'm going to make this the perimeter, okay, of inside, and then the perimeter of outside. Oh my god, I can't type today. Oh my gosh. Outside. Okay. There we go. So the perimeter of the inside. Easy. Look at this. The perimeter of the inside is just 1 times 4, or 4 meters. Okay? Perimeter of the outside is just 7 times 13. I don't know that off the top of my head, actually. Haha. I need more room. Oops. There we go. Okay. 7 times 13, 91. So the perimeter of the outside is, oops, 91 meters. Okay. Oh wait, no. Sorry. That's a that's ooh, I made a mistake. That is That's area. That's not perimeter. That's area. Whoops. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing perimeter. Perimeter is adding everything. What am I doing? So it's 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4 or 10. And then the outside is 7 plus 13 plus 7 plus 13 or 26 plus 14, 40 meters. Okay? Now the area is what I was doing, but I made a mistake while doing it. So the area, since this is empty right here, we're going to have to find that and subtract it from the whole right there. So for the whole, we're just taking 13 times 7, which is equal to 91. And we're going to subtract that from the inside, which is 1 times 4, or 4, and then we subtract it, which is 87. 87 meters squared. And that's it. That was today's lesson. All right. Any questions? Again, it's going to be slightly delayed, so it might be a little bit before I can see the chat. And while that was going on, my phone was blowing up with stuff. All right. If there are no other questions, I will end the stream here. This is our last problem. I will upload the. I will hopefully Schoology is working so I can upload this to everybody. But that's gonna be it for today. Yep, I'm having mucho issues, mucho problemos because of Schoologyos. Oh, maybe it's working now. I'm going to. All right, I am going to upload this stuff now. All right, I'm gonna save this so I can upload this. Looks like Schoology is getting work. Oh, rename. All right. Schoology is fully functioning right now. So, go over to Schoology. I'm gonna unplug this. All right, go over to Schoology and get started on your assignment. All right, again, just like yesterday, it's 5 questions, nice and simple. Okay, everything should be working. I'm going to end the stream here. If you need help, shoot me a text on Remind, um, and I will message you back. All right. The questions I've given out aren't as hard as the ones I was doing. I just want to make sure you guys understand how to do these. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Make sure you do your homework. I still haven't gotten homework from day 1 and day 2. All right. I need the homework from day 1 and day 2. It's not. It's working for me. Maybe give it a little bit to refresh. All right. Maybe give it a little bit. It's working for me, so hopefully it starts working for you guys. All right. I'm gonna end it here. Have a good day, everyone. I'll be on Zoom again from 1 to 2:30 and a little bit longer if we have to. Okay?